lost your tongue somewhere, don't know what to say. Stop and run around, oh you.
Hey guys, it's Betty from BakerBettie.com and welcome back to another video. Now today we are continuing on with our cake series and we are going to be tackling the creaming method today, which is the most common mixing method used for making cakes. Now this method is used for butter-based cakes, so things like a pound cake and a lot of bundt cake recipes, as well as our red velvet cake, which we will be learning today. Now red velvet cake is a really unique cake flavor in that it is a vanilla flavored cake with a little bit of cocoa powder, and it also contains some acidic ingredients to give it a little bit of tanginess. So let's go ahead and dive into the recipe. Okay, so we're going to start by preheating our oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit and then lining our cupcake tins with liners. Now this recipe will make about 16 cupcakes, so you will need to line 1 full tin as well as 4 cups in a second tin. Okay, let's quickly review the basic steps for the creaming method. First, we are going to sift together our dry ingredients. Then we will mix together our wet ingredients. Next, we will cream our butter and sugar together. Then we will add in the eggs. And last, we will alternate adding our dry and wet ingredients to the butter-sugar mixture. So for the dry ingredients, I am sifting together 1 2/3 cup of all-purpose flour, along with 3 tablespoons of natural cocoa powder, a ½ teaspoon of baking soda, and a ½ teaspoon of salt. Now after you sift your dry ingredients together, go ahead and give them a whisk to evenly distribute all of the ingredients. Now for our wet ingredients, we are going to need a ½ cup of milk, 3/4 cup of sour cream, and this sour cream is going to give our cupcakes that slight tanginess that is classic with red velvet cake. Next, we will need 1 teaspoon of white vinegar or apple cider vinegar, and this really helps intensify the red color of the cake. And last, we need 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Now just go ahead and whisk those wet ingredients together. Okay, next we are going to cream together our butter and sugar. It's really important that you start with room temperature butter that is soft but not melting. Now I like to start by beating the butter all by itself for about 30 seconds, and I am using 2/3 of a cup of unsalted butter here. And now we can go ahead and add in our sugar. So I'm adding in 1 1/2 cups of granulated sugar, and we're going to beat this on high speed until it is extremely light and fluffy. This is going to take about 5 full minutes. You want the mixture to lighten in color and become extremely creamy. Next, we are going to mix in our eggs one at a time. You can mix on medium speed until just incorporated and then add the next egg. So for our last step here, we are going to add our dry ingredients in 3 additions, alternating with our wet ingredients in 2 additions. So I'm going to start with about 1/3 of our dry ingredients and just mix that in until well combined. And now I'm going to add about half of the wet ingredients in and also mix that until it is just combined. Now I'm back to the dry ingredients and I'm adding another 1/3. And so on until all of the ingredients are mixed together. Now the reason we do this is because the creamed butter and sugar is not able to absorb all of the wet or all of the dry ingredients at once. So we alternate the two so our cake has the perfect texture. Now with this last addition of dry ingredients, I'm also going to add in our food coloring. Now I'm using a gel food coloring here, and I'm adding about 2 teaspoons for an intense red color. Now you can add more or less, or even none at all. It is not going to affect the flavor of our cake, it is just the iconic color of red velvet cupcakes. Now go ahead and fill your prepared cupcake tins about 3/4 of the way with your cake batter, and I love using this large ice cream scoop. It's the perfect size for cupcakes or muffins, but you can also just use a spoon. We're going to bake these for about 20 to 24 minutes, and then we will let them cool completely before icing. Red velvet cake is traditionally served with a cream cheese icing, and to make this, we are going to add 8 ounces of room temperature cream cheese into a large mixing bowl. And I'm also adding 2 tablespoons of room temperature unsalted butter. Next, we're adding 3 cups of powdered sugar, along with 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and a pinch of salt. Go ahead and mix all of that together with your mixer until it is creamy. And at this point, you can add up to 1 more cup of sugar if you want a frosting that is thicker and holds its shape more when it is piped. Once the cupcakes are cooled, you can fill a piping bag and frost them. Now, truthfully, making pretty cakes and cupcakes is something that I am still learning for myself. So if you are also new at piping, make sure you check out today's bonus video where I show you 4 really simple piping techniques for cupcakes. Now, even I can do these, which is saying a lot about how easy they are. These cupcakes are so moist and fluffy, and I love how they have just a hint of cocoa powder, and the tanginess from the sour cream pairs so nicely with the cream cheese frosting. Now, I really hope you enjoyed today's cupcake tutorial, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you aren't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscription button and ring the notification bell so you never miss a video. And as always, I'm happy to answer any of your questions, so you can leave those down in the comment section. You can follow me at Baker Betty on Instagram and on Facebook, and I will see you guys next week with another cake tutorial.